war games, and a sequel to one of my favorite games of all time. Hey guys, I'm Gillyweed with MMO Play, and I'm bringing you all that and more this week on MMO News. It's been almost a year since Tales Runner launched, but after some prep, it's now landing on the Steam platform. The MMO RPG Racer is expanding to the popular game distribution platform, where it hopes it can add more runners to its community. Whether or not Tales Runners becomes a hit among Steam users will depend on whether its fairy tale-inspired tracks and PvP racing modes are received well. Tales Runner's Steam version will offer pretty much all features. These include tracks based on popular fairy tales such as Jack and the Beanstalk and Alice in Wonderland to 20-player PvP races. Various game modes such as Relay, Co-op, or Team will be available on the Steam version. And for the decidedly hardcore, the Survival mode is also available. Steam fans craving for some social interaction can delve into the PvE co-op and park interaction features. PvE co-op lets you team up with a friend to tackle tricky bosses. And in the park, you can meet new friends, share stories about your amazing races, and even invite them to your farm where you can raise your pet and grow crops to sell. Will you be downloading Tales Runner on Steam? Are you more excited about the PvP or PvE aspects? Let us know in the comments below. Attention! The World of Tanks General's closed beta is upon us, and the recruiters at Wargaming are looking for brave, card-flipping leaders to send in their applications. After signing up for the closed beta, you'll enter the collectible card game, build a number of decks from around 200 unique cards, train with those decks, and proceed to duel with opponents in either PvE or PvP modes. Players can swear their allegiance to the USA, Germany, or the USSR and build their decks around those nations, each capable of winning on their own. Training modes are also available for those who want to further sharpen their card battle skills and develop their unique playstyle without losing too much face in official matches. World of Tanks Generals will utilize the unified Wargaming.net ID. This means players of this game will also have instant access to other Wargaming browser games. The closed beta test will at first be constricted to web browsers, but mobile versions for Android and iOS are in the works. Unless you're a budding game designer yourself, it's quite likely that you take the color palettes in your favorite MMO for granted. Chances are you know without looking the color schemes for rare, uncommon, and legendary items in the games you play, but how do those colors tie in with the rest of the game? It's not a thought that most gamers linger over, but the team at Blizzard have put some real critical thought into color options in World of Warcraft in an attempt to assist an often underrepresented corner of the MMO community. Color blindness affects a huge proportion of people, making some gamers unable to distinguish between a lot of important pieces of information. Take, for example, red-green color blindness. It's the most common type and means that some or all shades of red and green appear as a single color. In many MMO games, the difference between red and green is the difference between an ally and an enemy. World of Warcraft has always had some features to combat this, but now they've gone one step further. In patch 6.1, players will not only be able to adjust color settings for color blindness, but will also be able to adjust the settings based on their specific color blindness condition. The new feature even allows adjustments for differing color blindness strengths and preferences. And the patch comes just in time because once again the MMORPG has rolled out its lanterns and commenced its Lunar Festival celebrations. In World of Warcraft lore, the Lunar Festival is a time when all of Azeroth comes together to celebrate the moment when the realm stood up for itself and launched an attack upon the Burning Legion. As always, cities will be adorned with lanterns and decorations, and a range of unique NPCs and lunar elders can be found peppered throughout Azeroth. Blizzard have remained relatively silent about this year's Lunar Festival. Since there's a strong world on its head theme with Warlords of Draenor, could this year hold something different for the event? You'll have to log in and hang your lanterns to find out. The crew has a new DLC out, and the name of the game is Speed. One of the big elements of the crew that keeps players coming back for more is the nail-bitingly tense, faction-driven PvP mode. The faction system of the racing MMO allows players to represent a slice of the community and stake their claim on the different territories of the gigantic map. There's already a decent gallery of race options out there, but now, in Speed, there are even more faction PvP options to choose from. Furthermore, a new PvP mode called Eliminator is up for grabs. In Eliminator, players have to battle to stay at the head of the pack, as cars that fall behind are gradually picked out of the race. This mode will require a variety of skill and car capabilities in order to survive. In order to keep players on their toes, a new selection of downloadable cars have been made available. And you'll also find some additional classes for some of the existing cars, as well as new paint and stickers to spruce them up with. Be sure to check out our website to find out more about the crew's latest DLC. Get ready to fight your way through the new Grepolis Battle of Troy campaign map, inspired by the Trojan War. Grepolis lets you relive the legendary decade-long conflict by putting you through a gauntlet of challenges. The Battle of Troy campaign map is filled with multiple fighting stages. Every player wishing to complete the event must defeat all stages on their way to Troy. Don't take these stages lightly. Developers warn that enemy counts will increase once they are beaten, thus raising the difficulty bar. To make the stages even more difficult, you will have a limit on the amount of mercenaries that can be deployed in each stage. As an incentive to keep players logging in throughout the Battle of Troy event, the free no-download game is releasing 5 types of mercenary armies, which can be discovered through normal play. Performing regular tasks like city building, research, or recruitment increases your chance to discover all the mercenaries. But don't go too crazy. A cap of 10 mercenaries per day has been imposed for balance purposes. The event will reward players through 3 different awards: Trojan Massacre, Conqueror of Troy, and Leader of Trojan Mercenaries. Have you received any of these awards yet? Let us know in the comments. March will be a month of horror and heroic deeds as Neverwinter becomes overrun with elemental evil cults. The Neverwinter Elemental Evil module arrives less than a month from now. It will dole out a ray of hope against the Dark Onslaught with the release of the new Paladin playable class. The Paladin stands as a beacon of righteousness among the rampaging horrors of the game. You'll be able to build a Paladin with either a focus on healing or tanking. The new module raises the level cap as well from 60 to 70 and includes a full set of new quests, feats, and slottable class feature powers. Curious about the storyline? It has been revealed that the Elemental Evil plot will see the return of Minsk and Boo, the ranger and miniature giant space hamster from the Baldur's Gate series. The module will also allow players to accompany the dashing duo as they seek to uncover the true nature of the Elemental Evil cults. For those who are equally avid players of the tabletop adventure, the Elemental Evil cults found in the upcoming module will also appear in the next slated tabletop release, Princes of the Apocalypse. The Neverwinter Elemental Evil module descends upon us on March 17th. Alright guys, it's time for the 5 in 1. Here are 5 stories, each contained in one sentence. Jagex has announced that the old school RuneScape is free to play from now on, putting some restrictions in place to keep players from attempting to circumvent trade limits. EVE Online's second update for 2015, Tiamat, is now live and brings to the game a second tactical destroyer, corporation tools, and projectile weapon balancing. Wargaming announced World of Tanks for Xbox One, which will feature expansive cross-platform playability. The Realistic Racer Project Cars won't be hitting its original scheduled launch this March, but fortunately it is only pushed back until early April when it's set to launch with both PC and console versions. And finally, a sequel for Terraria called Terraria Otherworld was announced, which will create a parallel Terraria universe that has fallen into disarray, and it'll be your mission to clean it up. I can't wait! Well guys, that's all the time we have for this week, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for all the latest info, contests, and more. We have many of last week's giveaways, but still active, and we also have a new one for Smite, so be sure to check out our website. Once again, I'm Gillyweed, and I'll see you next week, but until then, I'll see you in game.